Opening day never came. There was no madness in March. Nobody drank out of the Stanley Cup. The NBA stopped playing.
I'm standing in front of one of the largest athletic facilities in the nation, where Olympians train and college athletes compete. It's been sitting empty for a month.
So in the midst of this, Dino decides he wants to add a sports report to his Facebook live show No Cream or Sugar, and I had to ask, what sports? Well, good morning, and welcome to the very first episode of What Sports on No Cream and Sugar with Dino Baskovic. I'm Frank Vaccarello. Thank you very much, Dino, for asking me to do something like this. If you're a sports fan, you are really suffering this time of year. I miss the Indians already, NBA basketball, and NASCAR as well, and everybody has a different sport that they're missing. So what is it that I do to try to bring any kind of competition into my life to make it worthwhile anymore? So this is what we're doing with this little sports segment of Dino's show that we're calling What Sports? So first up is WHD Wrestling. What am I having for dinner tonight? Everybody is wrestling with that. I wrestle with that, especially being a single guy. I've got a lot of choices. So tonight, what am I having for dinner? Here's what I do every day. It's a point system. I'm my own judge. One person. It's an odd number. I can't have a tie. So here are my choices for tonight. I'm either going to have a nice, big, thick, juicy steak, or I'm going to have some chicken parmesan. I'm not going to have all that chicken. That's a lot for a single guy. I've got my daughter coming over this weekend. She'll have some of it. So now I've got to go through the pros and cons of a nice, thick, juicy steak. Well, I'm going to be able to grill it because that's the best way to do it. I've come up with this brand new little seasoning rub that I've really been enjoying lately, and I want to get out and grill it a little bit more often. Plus, grilling's easy. Easy cleanup, not a whole lot of dishes to worry about. But the cons for this one? It is cold here in Geneva, Ohio right now. In fact, there was 2 inches of snow on the ground yesterday morning, and it's going to be cold if I'm going to go out and grill. And I usually kind of still grill in my shorts. I don't care what the temperature is. So those are the pros and cons for the steak. As far as the chicken, yum, yum. You know, I'm Italian. I've got to have something with pasta and marinara sauce and cheese on it, right? So there's the pros of that. But the cons of a chicken dinner or chicken parmesan dinner, all the dishes, all the pots and pans that I use, especially the way that I make it. So I think winner steak dinner, I think that's exactly what I'm going to have for tonight. So there we go. The winner of WHD Wrestling for tonight's dinner is a nice, big, thick grilled steak dinner. So, all right, that's part number one. Next up, what do we got? Oh, we're going to see which tomato plant had fruit first. Yes, this is time-lapse video in my grow tent that I have in my living room. I want to grow tomatoes indoors. I work for a company that manufactures grow lights, so I'm testing some of the product here, and this is a grow that I had recently, and all those peppers there, by the way, those go great on steak, little fried up in a skillet with some garlic and some butter on anyways, we'll talk about that later. But what's really happening here is watch closely which plant is going to have the first tomato plant or the first tomato itself, and there it is, real close. You can barely see. It's going to get a little bit bigger here, and the plant on the right has the first tomato of these two plants in my grow tent. Isn't that cool? Okay, and last but not least, we're going to have the slow motion replay of the week. Hopefully you enjoyed this first episode of What Sports on No Cream and Sugar. Next up, we're going to take a look out of my parking lot and see who has the biggest flat spot on their tires from their cars not moving for the last month. Bye. Thanks.